Have you ever felt that sinking feeling in your stomach? You're in a conversation, you have the perfect idea in your head, but the English word for it just vanishes. It's like it's on the tip of your tongue, but your tongue is tied.
Oh, it's the worst. It's that moment of panic, like when you're writing an important email to your boss. You want to sound professional and say a project is challenging, but the only word you can remember is hard. So you just stare at the screen thinking, is hard okay? Does it sound too simple? Am I going to sound like a child? We know this feels overwhelming.
Exactly. Or even worse, you spend an hour learning 20 new words from a list. You feel so productive, so smart. Then the next day, a friend asks you what you did last night, and your mind goes completely blank. You can't remember a single one. It feels like your brain is a leaky bucket, and all that hard work just dripped away overnight.
We've seen this so many times. I had a student, Steve, a brilliant engineer from Brazil. He knew his subject inside and out in Portuguese, but in English meetings, he felt invisible. He told me, Emily, I learned the words like innovative and streamline at night, but the next day at work, they're just gone. The frustration he felt was just heartbreaking.
But here's the good news. It's not your fault, and your brain isn't broken. Today, we fix that for good. We're giving you 3 powerful brain hacks that will turn your mind from a leaky bucket into a vocabulary magnet.
And these aren't your typical use flashcards tips. These are scientifically backed techniques that work with your brain's natural learning process.
And you'll want to stick around for all 3 because the third tip, game changer. It's a simple 10-minute daily habit that will lock words into your long-term memory and will actually save you study time.
But before we dive in, let's talk for a second about why this is so much more than just memorizing words. This isn't about passing a test or getting a perfect grammar score.
Nope. This is about real life.
This is about finally being able to text your crush without spending 20 minutes rereading your message, terrified you sound weird or awkward. It's about being in a group of new friends and being able to jump into the conversation with a funny story instead of just sitting there smiling and nodding.
I'll never forget the time I was trying to learn Spanish and I wanted to tell a joke to a group of new friends. I had practiced it, but when the moment came, I completely forgot the main word in the punchline. Just gone. The silence was so awkward. I didn't just feel stupid, I felt disconnected. That's what this is about. Connection.
Yes, it's about expressing your personality. Are you funny, sarcastic, deeply thoughtful? You can't show people the real you if you don't have the words to do it. Learning vocabulary this way isn't a chore. It's an act of claiming your identity in a new language. It's about gaining the freedom to be yourself. Anytime, anywhere.
That's the goal. Not just to speak English, but to feel like you when you speak it. So to get there, we first need to understand what's holding us back.
Let's talk about the 3 vocabulary traps that almost every single learner falls into. And trust us, you're probably doing at least one of these right now.
First up, mistake number 1, the rote memorization trap.
This is the classic. You get a fresh new notebook, you make a list. Word on the left, translation on the right. Ambitious is ambicioso. Important is importante. You read the list over and over and over again.
My student, David, was the king of this. He had a spreadsheet with over 500 words. He was so proud of it. He would spend an hour a day just reading through them. But one day in our session, I asked him, David, can you use the word meticulous in a sentence for me? And he just froze. He could recognize the word on his list, but he couldn't use it.
That's because, to your brain, a list of words is just boring, disconnected data. It has no context, no emotion, no life. It's like trying to memorize a list of random phone numbers. Your brain is designed to forget information it thinks is useless, and a random list of words is at the top of its useless list.
So true. Which brings us to mistake number 2, the one and done trap.
Oh, I am so guilty of this when I learn new things. You're watching a movie, you hear a cool new word like epiphany. You pause the movie, you whip out your phone, look it up. A moment of sudden realization. You think, aha, I got it. So smart. You press play, and you never think about that word again.
And then a week later, you have a brilliant idea at work, and you want to say, I just had an epiphany. But the word is just a ghost, a faint memory. That's because your brain needs to see and interact with a new piece of information multiple times in multiple ways before it decides to keep it. Seeing it once is like introducing yourself to someone at a huge party. If you don't talk to them again, are you going to remember their name a week later? Probably not.
Exactly. It's a recipe for forgetting. And this last mistake is maybe the most dangerous one.
Mistake number 3, the translation trap. This is when you try to find a perfect one-to-one match for a word from your native language. I had a student, Maria, from Colombia, who was incredibly sweet. In Spanish, to talk about her feelings, she would say, me siento, which she kept translating directly to, I feel myself, in English.
Oh no.
Yeah, so she would say things in conversation like, when I watch that movie, I feel myself sad. And native speakers would get this very confused, slightly concerned look on their faces. We had to gently explain that I feel myself has a very different, very physical meaning in English. And what she wanted to say was simply, I feel sad.
It's such an easy trap to fall into, but direct translation misses so much. It misses emotion, cultural context, and the subtle feelings of a word. You have to learn words inside their new English home, not try to force them into the shape of your native language.
Okay, so those are the traps. Rote memorization, the one and done, and the translation trap. But don't worry, because our first brain hack solves these problems beautifully.
All right, are you ready? Hack number 1 is called the memory palace. But don't worry, you don't need to be a memory champion like Sherlock Holmes to do this. I like to call it creating a word home.
A word home. I like that. It sounds cozy.
It is. Instead of leaving a new word homeless on a random list, you're going to build it a rich, permanent home inside your brain. It's a simple 4-step process. Let's take a fantastic word, resilient.
Okay, resilient. I've seen that one.
Step 1, find the feeling, not just the definition. Don't just look it up and see,
able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. Ask yourself, what does that feel like? To me, resilient feels strong, flexible, like bouncing back after being pushed down. It feels hopeful.
Okay, so it's an active, strong feeling. Got it.
Step 2, create a vivid sensory image. Now, we need to turn that feeling into a picture. Close your eyes for a second. What does resilient look like? For me, I see a tiny green plant, a little sprout pushing its way through a crack in a huge gray concrete sidewalk. The concrete is the difficulty, and that little plant is the resilience. I can almost feel the rough concrete and see the bright green of the leaves.
That's a great image. I can see that perfectly.
All right, step 3. Attach a personal emotion or memory. This is where you make the word part of your story. Think of a time you were resilient. Maybe you failed a test, but studied harder and passed the next one. Maybe you went through a tough breakup, but came out stronger.
Wait, Emily, let me show you exactly what happened to me last week. We had that huge deadline for the new video course, remember? My main editing software crashed. It just died. For a minute, my heart dropped. I thought, we're finished. But then I took a deep breath, spent an hour finding a workaround with a different program, and we managed to finish it just in time. In that moment, after the panic, I felt so incredibly resilient.
Yes, that is a perfect personal emotional anchor. You didn't just learn the word resilient, you felt it in your bones. That's the memory.
So the story is me panicking, then finding a solution and feeling that relief and strength.
Exactly. And that brings us to step 4. Say it out loud in a full sentence. Don't just whisper it. Say it with the emotion you attach to it. So you would say, wow, after my computer crashed, I had to be really resilient to finish that project.
I felt so resilient when I found the solution. It feels different saying it now. It feels like my word.
It is your word now. You've just built a beautiful, strong home for resilient in your brain. It has an image, the plant, an emotion, relief, strength, and a personal story, the computer crash. How could you ever forget that? You've connected it to your real life.
This is so much better than a list. You're not memorizing a definition, you're remembering a moment. When you need the word in a conversation, your brain won't search a boring list. It will go right to that story, that feeling. It's instantly accessible.
That's the magic of it. You're making the word unforgettable because you've made it meaningful. So that's your first mission. Take one new word this week and build it a home. Give it a feeling, an image, a story, and a voice.
All right, that was awesome. But what if you need to learn a group of words, like you're studying for an exam, or you want to understand a specific topic, like business or science? Trying to build a separate memory palace for 10 words at once can be tough.
It can be, which is why we have hack number 2, story linking. Some people call this creating a word web.
This one is my favorite. It's fun, it's creative, and honestly, the crazier you get with it, the better it works. Your brain is not designed to remember lists, but it is a supercomputer for remembering stories.
She's right. Think about it. You can probably remember the plot of a movie you saw 5 years ago, but you can't remember a password you created last week. Stories stick. So instead of learning words in a disconnected list, we're going to link them together in a single, bizarre story.
Let's do one right now. I've picked 3 words that seem totally unrelated. They are serene, which means calm and peaceful, abrupt, which means sudden and unexpected, and gargantuan, which means enormous or gigantic.
Okay, serene, abrupt, and gargantuan. A normal learner would write them in a list. But we're not normal learners. We're brain hackers. Ethan, you start the story.
Okay, here we go. Picture this. I was meditating by a perfectly still, serene mountain lake. The water was like glass. The only sound was the gentle breeze. I was feeling so peaceful.
When abruptly, a shadow fell over the whole lake. I looked up, and a truly gargantuan, fluffy pink bunny wearing sunglasses slowly floated down from the sky holding a giant carrot.
A gargantuan pink bunny. That's perfect. See, now, in my mind, I don't have 3 separate words anymore. I have one single, ridiculous image. The serene lake, the abrupt appearance of the gargantuan bunny. I will never forget that picture.
The more vivid, funny, or strange the story is, the more powerfully it will stick in your memory. The emotion, whether it's humor, shock, or wonder, acts like glue for the vocabulary. I had a student, Chloe, who was studying for her MBA. She was drowning in business vocabulary. I told her to try story linking. She had to learn meticulous, compelling, and skeptical. So she created a story about a meticulous, very careful and precise, penguin who was giving a compelling, very persuasive presentation about fish stocks to a group of skeptical walruses.
A penguin giving a PowerPoint. I love it.
She told me she could literally see the little penguin adjusting his tiny bow tie before he started. She aced her exam, and she told me later, I literally cried with relief when I realized I wasn't scared of new words anymore. That's the power of it. It turns a stressful task into a creative game.
So your mission for this hack is to take 3 to 5 words you want to learn this week, and don't just put them in a list. Weave them into a single crazy story. Draw a picture of it if you have to. The goal is to link them together so they can't escape.
Okay, you've built a home for a single word. You've created a story to link multiple words. You're feeling good. But there's a final crucial piece of the puzzle. This is the one that moves words from your short-term, I think I know this, memory to your long-term, I will never forget this, memory.
And this is the one I promised you. The tip that will save you time and make your learning 10 times more effective. Hack number 3, active recall in the golden hour.
Now, everyone knows you should review what you learn. But here's what most learners miss. They review passively. They just reread their notes. They look at their vocabulary list or their story. And your brain says, oh yeah, I've seen that before. And it doesn't do any work.
Passive review is a total waste of time. It's like going to the gym and watching other people lift weights. You're there, but you're not building any muscle. To build memory muscle, you have to do the lifting yourself. And that is active recall.
Active recall is the act of forcing your brain to retrieve information without any help. It's a test. It's a struggle. And that struggle is exactly what builds the strong neural pathways that make memories permanent.
Okay, but that sounds hard. And what is this golden hour thing? I'm busy. I don't have a whole hour every morning to study. It's intimidating.
I totally get it. It sounds like a lot, but the golden hour isn't actually a full hour of your time. It refers to the first hour after you wake up,
Studies show that your brain is incredibly receptive to learning and memory consolidation right after sleep. It's primed and ready. And you only need 5, maybe 10 minutes of this golden hour.
5 minutes? Okay, I can do 5 minutes. So what do I do? Just test myself with flashcards?
You can, but let's make it even better. No notes, no phone, no flashcards at first. While you're making your coffee or brushing your teeth, you actively ask your brain a question. So yesterday, you learned the word resilient using the Memory Palace hack. This morning, you don't look at the word. You ask yourself, what was that word for bouncing back from a tough situation?
Oh, so I try to remember the definition first.
Yes. Or you ask, what was that story about the plant growing through the concrete? And you force your brain to make the connection. You might struggle for 10, 20, even 30 seconds. That's a good thing. That struggle is the heavy lift for your brain. It's literally the process of strengthening the memory. Then, after you've tried, you can check your notes and confirm.
So the struggle is the workout.
The struggle is the workout. It tells your brain, hey, this information is important. I had to work hard to find it, so I better keep it somewhere easy to find next time.
And you combine this with a simple concept called spaced repetition. You don't need a complicated app. Just actively recall the new word the next day, day 1. Then try again 3 days later. Then a week later. Each time you successfully recall it, the memory gets stronger and more permanent.
This 10-minute active recall session in the morning is more powerful than an hour of passive rereading at night. You are working smarter, not harder.
All right, enough talk. Let's put this all together and do it right now. You and us. We're going to give you 3 beautiful new English words, and we are going to use all 3 hacks to make them stick.
Ready? You're not just watching now. You are participating. You are joining us. Let's do this. The 3 words are ephemeral, melancholy, and luminous.
Okay, first up, ephemeral. Ephemeral. It's an adjective that means lasting for a very short time. Fleeting.
Hack number 1, the Memory Palace. Let's build a home for ephemeral. Close your eyes if you can. Imagine you're a child again. You're blowing soap bubbles. Picture one perfect shimmering bubble floating away. You can see the rainbow colors on its surface. It's so beautiful. And then, pop. It's gone. That beautiful, perfect moment was ephemeral. Feel that little touch of sadness and wonder. That is the feeling of ephemeral.
Perfect. Next word, melancholy. Melancholy. It's a noun or an adjective for a deep, pensive feeling of sadness, often with no clear reason. It's a quiet, thoughtful sadness.
And our last word, luminous. Luminous. An adjective that means giving off light, bright or shining.
Okay, we have our 3 words. Now for hack number 2, story linking. Let's weave them into a single image. What do you see, Emily?
I see a single luminous firefly glowing softly in a dark forest. It's the only light, and watching it makes me feel a sense of melancholy, a quiet sadness, because I know its beautiful, glowing life is ephemeral. It will be gone in a moment.
Wow. One luminous firefly, The melancholy feeling, the ephemeral light. That's a powerful, sticky image. Can you see it? The dark forest, the single point of light?
Okay, just pausing here for a second. How are you doing? Take a deep breath. You're doing amazing. Just by creating these images with us, you are already miles ahead of where you were 10 minutes ago. You're actively learning.
And now for the final part. Hack number 3, your homework. Tomorrow morning, during your golden hour, while the coffee is brewing, ask yourself this question without looking at your notes. What was that story about the firefly? Try to see the image. Then ask, what were those 3 words? The one for shining, the one for sad, the one for short-lasting.
Struggle with it. Try to recall the feeling of the story. That effort is what will cement Luminous, Melancholy, and Ephemeral into your permanent English vocabulary.
Look at what you just accomplished, seriously. In the last 20 minutes, you haven't just passively watched a video. You've learned a powerful 3-part system for making new knowledge your own.
This is so much bigger than just remembering words. You are learning how to learn. You are taking control of your own progress. Today, you didn't just learn English. You gained the freedom to build a bigger, richer, more expressive world for yourself.
The freedom to find the exact right word to share your incredible ideas. The freedom to be witty, to be deep, to be you. You're not just a learner anymore. You're on your way to becoming a confident, articulate English speaker.
We are so proud of you for taking this step. You are officially part of the DialogueBoost family, and we are here to support you every step of the way.
So here is your challenge for this week. Find one new English word that you love the sound of. Use these 3 hacks on it. Build its memory palace, link it in a crazy story, and use active recall the next day.
And we want to hear about it. Let us know what word you chose and what its memory palace or story is in the comments below. We read every single one, and we love seeing your creativity.
If this video helped you, please give it a like. It really helps our channel. And subscribe so you don't miss our next video. We're going to be tackling the 5 most confusing phrasal verbs that even advanced speakers get wrong.
Thank you for spending this time with us. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep being you.
See you next time.